Welcome, my dear students. The bone today we will learn is hip bone. Hip bone is also called innominate bone. It is an irregular bone. The two hip bones, along with sacrum and coccyx, forms the bony pelvis. Now, let us know what are the parts of hip bone. Before knowing the parts, let us identify two features. See, this is a cup-shaped depression which is present on the lateral aspect of the bone. It is called acetabulum. Below and in front of the acetabulum, there lies a big foramen which is called obturator foramen. In relation to these two features, acetabulum and obturator foramen, we will learn the parts of the bone. Hip bone has got three parts: ilium, ischium and pubis. The part above the acetabulum is the ilium. See, this is an expanded plate of bone lying above the acetabulum. Part below and behind the acetabulum is the ischium. The part below and in front of the acetabulum and obturator foramen is the pubis. So, hip bone has got three parts, namely ilium, ischium and pubis. These three parts meet at the floor of the acetabulum by a Y-shaped triradiate cartilage. So, more than 2/5 is contributed by the ilium, 2/5 by the ischium and 1/5 by the pubis in the acetabulum. Now, let us determine the side of this bone. As hip bone is bilateral, you are required to determine the side. How we will identify the side? First, above and below is known by the iliac crest. This one is the iliac crest. Iliac crest always lies above. Anterior and posterior, you see this notch, greater sciatic notch. You see this is ischial tuberosity. Greater sciatic notch and ischial tuberosity lies posteriorly. How to identify medial and lateral? This acetabulum, cup-shaped depression I have told earlier, this lies on the lateral aspect of the bone. So we are able to identify above, below, we are able to identify anterior, posterior, we are able to identify medial, lateral. So this bone must be of right side. This acetabulum will tell you the side of the bone. Now, anatomical position. How to hold this bone in anatomical position? See, this is the anterior superior iliac spine. This is the upper end of the symphysis pubis. Anterior superior iliac spine and upper end of the symphysis pubis will lie in the same coronal plane. Will lie in the same coronal plane. The symphysis pubis, this will be directed downwards, forwards and medially. Acetabulum, you see this one is acetabulum, it will be directed downwards, forwards and laterally. Ischial tuberosity will occupy the lowermost position. So, how to hold this in anatomical position? So, this is the anatomical position where anterior superior iliac spine and upper end of the symphysis pubis will be in the same coronal plane. Symphysis pubis will be directed downwards, forwards and medially, and the acetabulum will be directed downwards, forwards and laterally. So this is how to hold this bone in anatomical position. Now we will describe each parts of the bone. We will try to know the features of each parts of this bone. So this one is the ilium. It has got three borders, namely anterior border, posterior border and medial border. It has got three surfaces. This surface is the gluteal surface, this surface is called the iliac fossa, and this surface is called the sacropelvic surface. You see, this one is the anterior border. Anterior border presents from above downwards anterior superior iliac spine. You see a small notch below the anterior superior iliac spine. Thereafter, anterior inferior iliac spine, which extends up to the acetabulum. So, anterior border from above downwards presents anterior superior iliac spine, notch, anterior inferior iliac spine. Posterior border from above downwards presents posterior superior iliac spine, a small notch, posterior inferior iliac spine, thereafter a big notch. This is called greater sciatic notch. At the upper border of this greater sciatic notch, there lies a sulcus. This is called preauricular sulcus. So, the posterior border from above downwards presents posterior superior iliac spine, a small notch, posterior inferior iliac spine, greater sciatic notch. This one is the medial border. It is served above, forming the anterior boundary of the sacropelvic surface. Below, it extends up to the iliopubic eminence. Now, this one is the upper border of the ilium, and this one is the lower end of the ilium. You see, upper border is represented by a crest, which is called iliac crest. Iliac crest extends from the anterior superior iliac spine anteriorly to posterior superior iliac spine posteriorly. Anterior 2/3 of the iliac crest is called ventral segment, and posterior 1/3 is called the dorsal segment. Ventral segment of the iliac crest from outside inwards has outer lip, an intermediate area and inner lip. On the outer lip, about 5 cm behind the anterior superior iliac spine, there lies a tubercle which is called tubercle of the iliac crest. Tubercle of the iliac crest actually affects the outer lip of the ventral segment of the iliac crest. Posterior 1/3, which is called dorsal segment, it consists of two sloping surfaces which is separated by a ridge. You see, this one is the lower end of the ilium. Lower end is represented by line of junction of ilium with the other two parts, namely ischium and pubis. You see, this is the gluteal surface, which is bounded above by the iliac crest in front by the anterior border, behind by the posterior border, and below by the acetabular margin. This surface, I mean the gluteal surface, is divided by three gluteal lines into four areas. Now let us try to delineate the gluteal lines. All the gluteal lines are from the greater sciatic notch. This gluteal line from the greater sciatic notch ascending, affecting the dorsal segment. This one is the posterior gluteal line. You see another gluteal line. This one is the anterior gluteal line, which starts from the greater sciatic notch, ascends, and it ends close to the tubercle of the iliac crest. Another gluteal line, which is called inferior gluteal line, it starts from the greater sciatic notch and it ends near the anterior inferior iliac spine. So, the gluteal surface is divided into four prominent areas. This one, this is another area, this is one area, and this is one area. So these are the four gluteal areas divided by three gluteal lines. You see, this surface of ilium is called the iliac fossa. It is bounded above by the iliac crest, anteriorly by the anterior border, posteriorly by the medial border. You see this surface is the sacropelvic surface, which is bounded behind and below by the posterior border, in front by the medial border, above and behind by the iliac crest. This surface actually consists of an auricular surface. You see, this is an articular surface for articulation with the sacrum, forming the sacroiliac joint. You see a rough area above and behind the auricular surface. This is called iliac tuberosity. And this surface, which lies below and in front of the auricular surface, it is the pelvic surface. So these are the features present in the ilium. Now we will talk about the pubis. You see, this one is the pubis, which lies ventromedial to the ilium and ischium. It consists of a body and two rami. This is called superior ramus and this is called inferior ramus. Body of the pubis is quadrilateral in outline and presents three surfaces. This one is the anterior surface or femoral surface. This one is the posterior surface or pelvic surface, and this one is the medial surface or symphyseal surface. You see, this is the upper border, which is called pubic crest. Pubic crest laterally ends in a tubercle, which is called pubic tubercle. You see, this one is the superior ramus, which arises from the superolateral angle of the body and extends laterally above the obturator foramen, and it ends in iliopelvic eminence. Superior ramus has got three borders, namely This one is the anterior border. It is also called obturator crest. This one is the posterior border. This is also called pectineal line or pectin pubis, and this one is the inferior border. You see, this surface lying between the anterior border and the pectineal border or pectin pubis is the pectineal surface. This surface lying between the pectineal line or pectin pubis and the inferior border, this surface is called the pelvic surface. You see, this surface between the anterior border and the inferior border, this surface is called the obturator surface. You see, this one is the inferior ramus. It is the part which projects backwards from the body. Inferior ramus, it unites with the ramus of the ischium. What are the features present here? It has got an anterior or external surface, posterior or pelvic surface. It has got an upper border and inferior border. So these are the features present in the pubis. Now let us know what are the features present in the ischium. You see, this one is the ischium. This one is the ischium, which consists of a body and a ramus. The body of the ischium presents two ends, upper and lower. It has three borders, namely anterior border, lateral border and posterior border. It has got three surfaces, namely femoral surface, dorsal surface and the pelvic surface. You see, this one is the ramus of the ischium. Ramus of the ischium has got upper border, which form part of the margin of the obturator foramen. It has got lower border, which form the pubic arch together with the inferior border of the inferior ramus of the pubis. It has got an external surface and the posterior or pelvic surface.